Good morning, all. Hello, risers. Welcome to the program. So glad you're here. Yeah, we've got As If You Needed It. More recently given to Schebler. And the press is on. It is on. And you need to be following Arise Patriots. Check that out. Make sure you do that on Facebook. Follow them. Good stuff. Had a good meeting Friday night. All right. Hey, it's Monday. And the new week starts. Yeah. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Telephone number to call is 850-771-0049. And get John. If you can, hello, Corey. If you want to pipe in on text, please, no pronouns. That is the cardinal rule. So we ask that you hold to that, please. I'm just asking. It's a request. All right. Your forecast for today. Partly sunny to partly cloudy, stray shower, thunderstorm possible, high near 94. About a 15% chance. Then tonight, some clouds, stray shower, thunderstorm possible, low near 75. And then tomorrow for your Tuesday, mostly sunny skies during the morning hours, scattered showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, and a high near 93. Chance of rain tomorrow, 40%. It is 72 in Milton, 72 Navarre, 77 Gulf Breeze, and 72 in Pensacola. How are you? What is it? He, she, it, they. Oh. Pushing the button, Elizabeth. It's going to be a hot one. I don't mind it. I don't mind the heat. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of Florida. After living in Texas for 20 years, hot is relative. After living in Texas, hot is relative. When it portion of Wichita Falls, Texas, and there was 2 weeks altogether where there was 115. But it was like 20% humidity or something crazy like that. It was super low. But anyway, yeah, it was a dry heat. It was, but it was hot. So just everybody relax. We could take it. 94. Skating. All right. Glad you're here. If you see me turning my head this way, it's because I have this huge computer monitor now, and everything is so spread out. But it's interesting. It is. So glad you're here. All right. I'm going to get started on this. We've got tons to do, as we do on Mondays. A suspect. Don't do that. Let's do this first. Growing chances of a tropical storm in the Gulf Coast later this week. It's already starting. A tropical storm will probably form later this week in the southern Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center has upped development chances to a 50% chance. You gotta love that. It's going to be worse. A 50% chance. Now, The National Hurricane Center has upped the development chances. Developing storm will likely move toward the U.S. Gulf Coast later this week or into the upcoming weekend. Local impacts in South Alabama and Northwest Florida could be possible, most likely in the form of heavy rain and flash flooding. It's too early to know for sure the local impacts are likely. However, this is something I'll be closely monitoring over the next week. So just know it's coming. Just know it's coming, right? Be aware. Get your radios ready and all that kind of stuff. Good morning, Rose, Heather, and Stephanie. Good to see you. Everybody is here. I'm glad you're here. All right. 1-year-old girl drowns on Navarre Beach around 8:30 p.m. A concerned neighbor pulled a 1-year-old girl from a canal near 7372 Grand Navarre Boulevard. Emergency officials were called to the scene at 8:03, and a search took place. According to Navarre Beach Fire Rescue Danny Fure, the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office will announce more details as they become available. Just watch your kids, please. Kids like water. Kids like water. The county administrator is obligated to inform all county commissioners, not just the chairman, of what's going on. I want to show you this. This is we showed this the other day, but it's worth seeing again because this renewed push, and we've got to rid ourselves of Schebler, right? Here is Romy White.
Miss Romy White. The list, Miss Romy White.
Sorry about that. I'm going to turn this down a little bit for your protection. Here comes Romy. Sorry about that.
Romy White, Navarre. Romy White, Navarre. In Okaloosa County, Waste Pro provides trash pickup twice a week. In Okaloosa County, Waste Pro provides trash pickup twice a week for less than the price South Santa Rosa citizens pay for once-a-week pickup. Despite discussions last year to put the South Santa Rosa County garbage contract out for a competitive bid, Santa Rosa County instead renegotiated pickups at a higher price.
Oh, it's going to do that to me.
The exclusive monopoly for Waste Pro for more county oversight, including the ability for less pickups at a higher price for service mishaps and failures.
Okay. All right. So we got an echo. I apologize. I understand it. It may seem that way. We don't. Let me try it again. Let me see if we can get this going again.
Such as
the list, Miss Romy White.
Or spilled hydraulic fluid. However, allegations have surfaced involving Rosa County staff. Those allegations include, but are not limited to, county staff allegedly deleting complaints from Santa Rosa County customers about Waste Pro service. Romy White questions. Can you confirm or deny that Attorney Michelle Ankers of Ankers?
Let me know if it's still echoing. We had it fixed. No echo now. Okay, great. All right, perfect.
Law firm was brought in by Santa Rosa County and has been looking in Okaloosa County. Waste Pro provides trash pickup twice a week for less than the price South Santa Rosa citizens pay for once-a-week pickup. Despite discussions last year to put the South Santa Rosa County garbage contract out for a competitive bid, Santa Rosa County instead renegotiated an exclusive monopoly for Waste Pro with less pickups at a higher price. But that agreement did include provisions for more county oversight, including the ability for Santa Rosa County to fine Waste Pro for service mishaps and failures.
All right, so we're having. I know, I got you. We'll stop. But you get the idea. We saw this the other day. I don't know why it's doing the repeat. However, so Romy brought to the attention what was going on. All right. The county administrator is obligated to inform all the county commissioners, not just the chairman. And this is another failure of the administrator and Dave Peach. The fact that chairman did not immediately inform his fellow commissioners is another sign he's complicit with the administrator in covering up his and the staff's unethical poor performance. At least 3 of the county county commissioners knew nothing about it. They had to find out from someone other than Peach or the administrator. So you get the idea. This is not a personal human resource issue. It is a violation of Florida statutes. And the fact that what's his face, Schebler, laughed at people doesn't help the situation. But he got an outside attorney to look into it without getting approval, spending money without approval like that. Now that's a concern. Why wasn't the Chance, we'll get that for you. So why wasn't this cleared? Why wasn't it cleared? Why, if it was so important, why wasn't it done? Why was it done in proper channels? Why wasn't it run past the commissioners? You see the issue? You see the issue? It's just bizarre. It's very, very bizarre. Justin says, hey ho, Dan's got to go. So, it is problematic. And this guy is going to continue to do it because evidently he does not fear you. And that's where it comes down to. There's a third-party lawyer that has to be paid by you. By you. And that's problematic. I'm going to try to play a video. I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens. But I got another video. This guy spoke out against Calkins at the Tuesday meeting. Now, was he a plant? Somebody says he was a plant. Now he's got his speech written out. And if he had to know, he was prepared for this. So it seems kind of odd. Elizabeth says Schebler's making a decision to spend money. We don't trust him. Yep. He's creating an atmosphere for staff feels it's okay to delete emails. Yeah. Well, they are doing spending your tax dollars willy-nilly. He's parroting Matt Nolan. So let's watch the video. And hopefully it doesn't echo.
It's getting old. Yep. What else we got to do? What else we got to do here and listen to the stuff? Come in here and listen to the same stuff. About trying to get rid of somebody for lying. About trying to get rid of somebody for lying. Because you got some kind of agenda going here. Because you got some kind of agenda going here. You come up here, the same people. Ask the same question. Well, I got a question. Ask the same question. Every time I come up here. I'll ask it every time I come up here. How's your CCP coming along?
That is the two videos. I'm sorry. So this guy gets up and he says, sorry, Dan Cooey's dirty work to go against Calkins. I don't know. I understand Ramona will delete it. But you get the idea. This guy was put up there to speak against Calkins. Because look, he's calling for Schebler to step down because he lied to the people. multiple times. The guy goes, oh, well, because you lied to him? You call me every... Calkins is not lining people up to speak. I was in a meeting the other night. Calkins wasn't there. But a lot of people were, and they were angry. It's not Calkins. The problem is not Calkins. The problem is Schebler. I know. I do know that Cooey and this guy were sitting together. There you go. It's a problem. It is a problem. 850-771-0049. I'm going to try a couple things here. I'm going to do, maybe that helps. I don't know. We'll see if that helps. This guy was sitting by Cooey, so obvious. All right. There you go. And I'm sure there'll be somebody going, oh, no, it's all just a coincidence. James Calkins is the only one doing his job. You're exactly right, Sharon. You name me one other commissioner on that board that's doing the job for the people. You have a hard time finding it. We don't know. We still don't know if we have the truth. Schebler's changed his story. I know. Well, the truth is, evidently, that they just pushed it off. Getting rid of Schebler will fix a lot of things. It will be a start. I still don't think that that's going to be sufficient. Because even if, and that's a big old capital I, capital F, even if they get rid of Schebler, then the commissioners will think, well, this cuts us some slack. We're off the hook. And I don't think that is true. But that's the attitude that they'll have. All right, 850-771-0049. Good morning, Donna. I don't know. So that's how we're looking at it. So the youth pastor, David Nims, that was arrested for placing a video camera in a local church bathroom, is now charged with child pornography. Separate. Well, when they searched his home, they found 100 files of child pornography. Now, none of the kids appear to have a local connection, and they weren't videotaped by Nims himself. Not excuse. That doesn't give any kind of excuse. He still had child porn. The files appear to be downloaded off the internet. Now he's been charged with possession of child pornography. More charges could be added. Kind of frightening. Very frightening. And my sympathies to his family, because I know some of the family, and yeah, it's very bad, very bad. Back to the Schebler story and the county commissioners. We need patriots to think about stepping up to run for office. Yes. It's getting harder and harder for Sam Parker to walk his neutral tightrope. Yeah. And he should be uncomfortable. Make him as uncomfortable as you possibly can. And that's what way we have to look at it. Make him as uncomfortable as you possibly can. We're done. You're not going to do this anymore. Find a place, Sam. Stand on it. We know where Colton stands. He stands where Dave Peach tells him to stand. We know where Dave Peach stands. We know where Bob Cole stands. Of course, he's not in the seat. He hasn't been in the seat the last couple times, so. But you get it. We definitely know where Calkins stands. We need good people. We need good, solid people. And let me say this. We need people who are reluctant to hold office. Why do you say that, Nick? It's those that want it that I'm concerned about. If they are desiring that office, there's an issue. I don't like that. I want people who are, well, if you can't get anybody else, that's the person I want. I don't want those that are just eager to have a spot. I want somebody who's like, I don't want to do this. If you can find anybody else, let them do it. If I have to, I will, but this is not what I want to do. That's the person I want. And those are getting harder and harder to find. If they don't want it, they're not taking it. But we need good people. And it's getting thinner and thinner. 850-771-0049. It's the truth. A pace man is being held in the Santa Rosa County Jail. Let me put him up here. On possession of child porn charges. Christopher Hoffman, 33 of Pace, is charged with possession of obscene material, depiction of child sex conduct. He's being held in Santa Rosa County Jail without bond. During the week of May 24th, authorities began investigating the distribution of child porn video. The IP address linked back to Hoffman's internet accounts and residence. After searching Hoffman's residence and devices, deputies took Hoffman into custody on June 2nd. He denied uploading child pornography. We are seeing more and more of this. We are seeing much more of this kind of garbage. And it is just way too easy to obtain. It's way too easy to obtain. What else? Escambia County Sheriff deputies are investigating an apparent kidnapping case. This is weird. Reports indicate a man was held captive inside a home on Washington and Navy Boulevard for an unknown amount of time. The man told deputies he'd been hogtied for several days, at least two suspects, by two suspects, and managed to escape to a nearby Escambia County's precinct office. Investigation is ongoing. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. What in the world is the draw to see kids sexually exploited? Well, people are depraved. It's getting more evil by the day. The internet, while it has some good parts to it, it makes pornography so very easily accessible. And there is the depreciating satisfaction with porn. And you're going to have people who are not strong. All right. 850-771-0049. So less than half of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated. Less than half. That's according to data posted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on June 11th. According to the Federal Health Agency, million people in the United States, 141,583,252 people in the United States are fully vaccinated, representing 42.6% of the population. The data shows 172 and almost a half million receiving at least one dose of a vaccine, representing 51.9% of the population. This number falls way short of the Biden administration's plan to have 70% of the population receiving at least one dose of the vaccine in about 2.5 weeks by the 4th of July. However, the sprint continues, with the CDC continuing to urge Americans to get vaccinated. What happens when Biden fails his push? What happens? Here's an interesting fact. Almost everyone in the U.S. lives within 5 miles of a COVID vaccination site. Almost everyone in the U.S. lives within almost 5 miles of a COVID-19 site. Yet 51% have one dose. They don't care. They don't care. Florida, I want to tell you this. I found this story interesting. This was on Fox News the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Dr. Eugene Choi, a Los Angeles-based radiologist, said in an interview published Saturday that came down with a COVID-19 despite receiving the vaccine about 6 months ago. Fox 11 reported that Choi is in quarantine fighting the virus. The report pointed out that his wife, who was also vaccinated, was also diagnosed with the disease. Even when I think about it today, it's crazy, he told the station. I can't believe I have COVID. He said he was surprised when he was diagnosed, but when he learned that his wife was also diagnosed, he realized it wasn't a fluke. Now, he was on with Arthel Neville on Fox News. And she asked him point blank, yes or no, if you've had COVID, you have the antibodies, you don't need the vaccine. Is that correct? And he said, yes, that's correct. If you've had COVID, the natural antibodies are much better than those injected with the vaccine. If you've had COVID, you don't need the vaccine. The vaccine doesn't stop COVID. It doesn't. Remember when they first said it's got a 94% effective, or 97. They were saying 97 at one point. Now it's like 70 something. The natural antibodies are more effective against COVID than the vaccine. If you've had COVID, you don't need the vaccine unless you want it. But it's kind of redundant. It's kind of dumb. 850-771-0049. If you want to get it, get it. I'm not saying you shouldn't get it, but I'm saying if you've had COVID, you don't need it. You already have the antibodies. A Florida appellate court delivered a devastating blow to government-induced forced public masking in the state on Friday. A narrow 2-1 decision that finally took into account citizens' privacy rights. It's often been ignored throughout the pandemic. In overturning and sending back for a reconsideration the decision of a circuit judge in favor of a county's mask requirement, the First District Court of Appeal panel cited the state's Supreme Court's interpretation of privacy rights, so broad as to include the complete freedom of a person to control his own body. My body, my choice. Right? That's what they say. So they can't do mask mandates. They can't. They can't do mask mandates. Not in Florida, anyway. Thank you, Governor DeSantis. God bless you. 850-771-0049. So, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu used his final speech in front of the Knesset Sunday to vow a swift return to office, attack his replacement, call out the Biden administration's effort to revive the nuke deal with Iran. Netanyahu, 71, stepped aside for new coalition government led by Naftali Bennett, who became the new prime minister after a 50-59 vote. President Biden quickly congratulated the new government. Bennett's office said later, spoke by phone with Biden, thanking him for his warm wishes and longstanding commitment to Israel's security. Netanyahu described Bennett, who was once his ally, as a political lightweight. He doesn't have the talent to handle the job. Netanyahu went on to talk about the challenges in dealing with the U.S. He said the administration in Washington had asked him not to discuss the disagreement on Iran publicly. But with all due respect, I can't do that, Netanyahu said. Paper said Netanyahu compared the attempt by the U.S. to return to the Iran nuke deal to the decision by Franklin Delano Roosevelt not to bomb the train tracks that led to Auschwitz. The Prime Minister of Israel needs to be able to say no to the President of the United States on issues that threaten our existence. And Netanyahu's right. The White House did not immediately respond to an after-hours email to Fox News. And he's not going to. They won't. All right. So there's the G7 summit. It's all about global warming. It's all about global warming. But Biden fumbled several times. This was not a good weekend for this guy. Now, I don't know, Katie. Yeah, I think it's like the 22nd. There's a workshop on the 17th in the morning, and I think the next one is on the 22nd, if I understand correctly. All right, so I'm going to try to play this video. It's short, but I'm going to try to play it. Hopefully it won't echo.
We could work together with Russia.
Oops,
for
it's
example,
not playing at all. For some weird reason.
Yeah, we should be opening up.
You're not getting any sound. Oh, it's burdensome today. Let me try this. I'm going to try it again. Hide it. We are having technical difficulties today.
Be opening up the.
Was it? I can't hear it. All right. Let me try it
to be
again.
able to go through and provide food assistance and economic assistance.
All right. Let me try it again. Evidently, you can hear it and I cannot. Great.
In Libya, we should be opening up the passes to be able to go through and provide food assistance and economic vital assistance to a population that's in real trouble. I think I'm going to try very much hard to. It is. And by the way, there's places where I shouldn't be starting off and negotiating in public here, but let me say it this way: Russia has engaged in activities which we believe are contrary to international norms, but they have also bitten off some real problems they're going to have trouble chewing on. And for example, the rebuilding of Syria, of Libya, they're there. And as long as they're there without the ability to bring about some order in the region, and you can't do that very well without providing for the basic economic needs of people. So I'm hopeful that we can find an accommodation where we can save the lives of people for example, in Libya.
All right. So evidently he's done. So he can't get Libya or Syria straight. That is embarrassing to America. It is embarrassing that we don't have a president who can put a thought together. He cannot get. This is crazy. He said that Russia had bitten off more than it could chew with its intervention in Syria, but then added Libya into the mix. Biden's aides brushed off the apparent gaffe, saying that he had meant to say Syria when saying Libya, but the president was widely hounded on social media. I need the hashtag media to come in, hashtag translate, and tell us what hashtag Joe Biden, the hashtag president, is really saying here. I guess when you're bombing so many countries at once, it's hard to keep up. That's the issue. Oh, cringe? Wait a minute. You've seen nothing yet. There's more. I'm going to here. When on the world stage with his peers at the G7 summit, Joe Biden had several mental lapses and gaffes. At one point, fellow world leaders openly laughed at Biden over his forgetfulness at the summit. Biden delivered a befuddling comment during the presser saying, COVID, I know you all know, but a lot of people may not know what COVID is. What? Here it is. And I want you to see this, and then we'll discuss it.
COVID is, I know you all know, but a lot of people may not know what COVID is. That is a system whereby they're going to provide funding for states to be able to get access to vaccines.
Now, do you know what COVID is? Well, I think everybody knows what COVID is at this point. Hold on. The White House issued a correction for the president saying that when he said COVID, he meant to say COVAX. Biden repeatedly made the same error on 3 different occasions during the press conference. COVAX is the worldwide initiative to get people access to the coronavirus vaccine. He doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's saying. What a complete embarrassment. Now, I want to point out, if this was Trump, the media would have eaten him alive. They would have eaten him alive and saying, what an embarrassment, blah, 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 blah. And they would have just torn him up. But this is Biden. This is different. All right. So during the summit, there was a conference between the G7 leaders of the U.S. and U.K. and France, Germany, Italy, Canada, and Japan, along with other leaders from India, South Korea, and South Africa. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson introduced the leaders who were not G7 members. He says, welcome those who have just joined us. We have some pretty spectacular weather. We have a Prime Minister Modi from India, President Ramaphosa from South Africa, President Moon from South Korea in just a minute. A confused Biden interrupted Johnson to inform them that he didn't introduce Ramaphosa, despite Johnson having just done it. So here's that video.
And just say how pleased I am
Kind of funny here.
Those who have just joined us, bringing some pretty spectacular weather with them. Prime Minister Modi, President Ramaphosa, President Moon, in just a minute.
And Biden's like, hey, you didn't introduce that guy. Look at his face.
I did not. I certainly did.
You get to mention twice. So.
I'll go over that again. Let me tell you, we're delighted. I'm going to say we're joined by Prime Minister Modi.
Let's go.
Crazy. He absolutely has no concept of what is going on. None. It's a shame, but wow, this is just the worst. Now, I did that one. I've got more. There's more. This is Biden at the presser.
Sorry, I'm going to get in trouble with staff.
And
I didn't do this the right way. Jennifer,
I don't know why it started. Let me go back, hide it, and get back to it. Here he is at a presser, and they get on him for going off topic or calling on reporters that are not on the list. And evidently that's what he's trying to keep from. They've warned him about it. Here he goes.
Right way, Jennifer Jacobs, Bloomberg. Jacobs, Bloomberg.
So I don't know. It's not playing right. Anyway, it is elder abuse. He says he's going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't call on it in the right order. There you go. That's Joe Biden. Are you concerned yet? Are you concerned yet? Now, if you aren't concerned yet, here's yet another instance at the summit. This is not a one-off. Check this out.
How are your meetings going in Cornwall, Mr. President?
I beg your pardon?
How are your meetings going here in Cornwall?
Very well.
Come on.
And then Jill has to hurry him off. They're all laughing. They're all laughing.
They always do.
They're not laughing with him. They're laughing at him. Because he's out, man. He is not with it. It's hard to watch him. I know. It's not leadership at its finest. It's the worst. What does that say, Stephanie? I can see what is the concept? What is the subject? I was concerned. Yeah, I know. It is pretty scary. What else? A passionate Alabama TV anchor and former college football player who broke the infamous Bill Clinton tarmac meeting with Attorney General Loretta Lynch died Saturday at his own hand. He committed suicide. Christopher Sine, 45, was found dead Saturday morning by Hoover police in his Scout Terrace home. That's according to al.com. The death is being investigated as a suicide. How convenient for the Clintons. How convenient for the Clintons. You're right, Katie. He was not elected. He was put there. Oh, yeah. Gotcha, Stephanie. So, look, the Clintons have a string of people. If you oppose them or expose them, you wind up committing suicide. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's convenient. How many people can connect? Does anybody? Do you know anybody? And this guy had a wife and small kids. Does anybody know that many people that have committed suicide? That you're that have that kind of connection? It just seems odd that many people that are problematic for the Clintons wind up dead at their own hand. Strange. Very strange. AOC is inclined to say yes to calls by progressive organizations and at least one fellow Democrat in Congress for an 82-year-old Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer to retire at the end of the current term of the High Court. Now, why would she want that? Why would the Democrats want that? Well, they know that he's getting old and they aren't going to get the next term. They're going to lose bunches of seats. And they're going to lose the White House. And they want to get as much done as they possibly can. If he steps down, they can replace him with somebody young, progressive, out of their mind. And that's why they want him to step down. Some progressives are urging Breyer to step down now while the Democratic control both the White House and the Senate, which confirms Supreme Court justices. So they can keep... I don't know. No, they're pro at suicides. 10 shots to the back of the head, another suicide. Vince Foster. Another Vince Foster. 850-771-0049. CNN anchor Abby Phillip reacted to Vice President Kamala Harris's infamous interview when she was questioned about her absence at the U.S. southern border despite being appointed by President Biden to manage the growing crisis on the border. It's a little cringeworthy, she said. Check this out.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
I've said I'm going to go to the border. And
when are you going to the border, Vice President?
The administration has asked. I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border.
Scolding her.
It's just a little cringeworthy. And I know that her allies in the White House and elsewhere are watching it and just kind of wondering what is going on. How poorly did this go for her first foray onto the world stage?
Well, it certainly didn't go the way the White House wanted it to go.
Yeah, it is cringeworthy. It is cringeworthy. And you just kind of wonder what's going on. She isn't intelligent. She's not an intelligent woman. She's power hungry. That doesn't make her intelligent. If voter fraud, Denise says, if voter fraud is, what happened? If voter fraud isn't addressed or 2022 isn't going to matter. Yep. You got to handle the issue. You are pushing this false narrative of voter fraud. There's no evidence to support it because they keep hindering it, right? You get the picture. You get the picture. By the way, today is like 85 days since Kamala's been tapped to handle the border crisis, and she's not been to the border. 85 days. when there was a problem, a slight problem down at the border with Trump, she was eager to get down there. She loved going down there. I don't know. These people are out of their minds. Just the worst. This will make you unhappy. A school district in New Jersey will remove all the names of holidays from the school calendar to avoid any hurt feelings. People get butthurt over holidays. Randolph Board of Education members unanimously voted last week. All of them voted to remove all holiday names from the school calendar. The action would remove religious holidays such as Christmas, Yom Kippur, as well as Thanksgiving and Independence Day. The holidays will be replaced with day off. After careful consideration of concerns introduced by both proponents of the changes as well as those in opposition to the change, a motion was presented for consideration to stop using holiday titles on the district's calendar. That's a statement from the Board of Education. We agreed unanimously that the change should be both inclusive and equitable. Oh, that word equitable is going to haunt you. Although we've made these changes to the school district's calendar, our decision to change the calendar titles will not impact the education of holidays as guided by the district's curriculum. So Ramadan, they'll talk about that. The controversial move stemmed from a prior decision by the school district to stop celebrating Columbus Day and rename it Indigenous Peoples Day, which angered Italian Americans. In an attempt not to offend any groups, the school decided to remove all the holiday names on Thursday. If we don't have anything on the calendar, we don't have anyone with hurt feelings or anything like that. That's according to a board member. Do these school boards have way too much power? This is absolutely the most ridiculous thing in the world. Day off 1, day off 2, day off 3. They're taking the titles of the holidays off the calendar. We don't want to offend anybody. Well, you know what? You just offended way too many people by taking the names off the calendars. Even though they're government approved, Christmas is a government approved holiday. Thanksgiving is a government approved holiday. But no. That may offend somebody. So what? So what? Most of the people it offends aren't voting. It is an understatement. You need to get people in office that have a soul. How can you look at these people and say, "Oh my, we've got people here that have." Look, removing the holidays off the calendar, does that help your children? Does it? Anybody? Does removing the name of holidays off the calendar help your children? Nope. Is that part of the school board's job? Nope. It's not. It has nothing to do with their job. But when you start pulling that string, we got to rename Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. When you start pulling that string, it doesn't end. There's no end to the string. And it just keeps unraveling and unraveling and unraveling. And now we're at a point where the school board has removed all holiday names. It's just a day off. Well, I'm sorry. Thanksgiving's not a day off. Christmas is not just a day off. Easter, Good Friday, not just a day off. They're trying to remove God. And this school board's done it. This school board has done it. You don't reference Christmas because it's got Christ in it. It's about the birth of Christ. And we've tried to dilute it. We've tried to water it down. And now we're going to remove it off the calendar. Thanksgiving, you can't give thanks to God. What are you, crazy? We got to remove that off because America is racist and you can't celebrate. So we're just going to remove that. Good Friday, no. 4th of July, oh my gosh, no. Even though that's during the summer, we got to take that off the calendar. It's a day off. And that's where we're at. Conservatives need to be the squeaky wheel. You're right, but Denise, we are more silent. We don't burn stuff down. We don't destroy and riot and whine about inequity. That's because we're mature. That's because we look at things more rationally. We're logical. Where the progressives and the liberals are bleeding hearts. And everybody's got to feel safe. Well, you know what? With the border the way it is, I don't feel safe. You know what? With Biden French kissing the Chinese, I don't feel safe. And that's the problem. And we do need good people. We need good people to step up because it happens locally. I think the conservatives are beginning to see we can't sit back and not do anything anymore. I agree, but we've got to make sure that we get the right person. We've got to make sure that we get the right people in place and then support them. If you are not making an effort to go to the county commissioner meetings or the school board meetings, you are wrong. You're wrong. I understand life gets in the way. You can't go to all of them. I get it. But you can go to some. You can go late. You can go late. But you got to go. You got to go. You got to speak your mind. You got to support. They need to know you must attend city council meetings. You got to attend the county commissioner meetings and the school board meetings. Don't let them do this to you. And they're trying to shut you up. They're trying to shut you up. Romy says a budget workshop at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Media notice was sent Saturday. No supporting documentation was included. Okay. So there you go. We just can't accept the words. Right. You've got to have people who live it. It's one thing to say I'm a Christian. A lot of people say a Christian. You look at the obits, people say, oh, they were a good Christian or they went to home with the Lord, and they don't live it. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's true. Evil triumphs when good men do nothing. Yes. Don't let them do this to you. They want to pass subversive subtle laws where it's got vague language in it that it may apply to you or may not apply to you. Oh, no. This has nothing to do with keeping you off the property. Just vagrants, homeless, and other persons. Who's the other persons? And it's subjective about what's being disruptive. Now, the school board is not as subtle. They can choose. They've got people in tactical, cops in tactical gear and canine units for a school board meeting because someone's been threatened. We don't know because it's not been reported. It's all bogus. It's all done to threaten you. Well, Katie, you've got to start local. You can't affect the national until you start local. Yes, support those audits and all those things, but you've got to start local. You work on voter fraud on a higher level, but you must start local. You can't fight these things if you got people like Schebler and Peach and Cole and Wright. You know what I'm saying? You get it. Those people have to be removed. I don't care if they say they're Republican. I don't care if they say they're Republican. That's not good enough anymore. Yeah, it is whoever Dan decides is other, or Peach, or whoever decides. Watch them. Mark them. Let's find people reluctant to run. Good, solid people that are reluctant to run. Yeah. Yep. And we need to get rid of him and Peach and yeah. Let's do this. Make sure that you follow Patriots Arise, or Arise Patriots, sorry. Arise Patriots. Make sure you follow that. They want to get good people. We've got good people. We've got a county full of good people. Let's find those that are suitable and maybe a little reluctant to run. Those are the ones we want. I want people who have read the Constitution and digested it, not just leave it on their nightstand and may or may not read it to their children as light bedtime reading. So weird. And I read it to my children, some of the earliest readings to my children. What a freak. I want somebody who understands the Constitution. I want somebody who knows, who loves the people of Santa Rosa and represents them and not their own special interest. Who does Colton Wright work for? Who does Dave Peach work for? He works for you. Who does he represent? That's the issue. They don't represent you. They haven't. Pressure. Constant pressure. And that only happens when you show up. Show up. You make sure that these people know you aren't going away. Here's my vision. And we talked a little bit about this the other night at the meeting, and everybody was on that same wavelength. We need to get 30, 40 people to write out their thoughts and have it all coordinate, and everybody line up during the public forum. You get 40 people lined up, and they're going to go boom, boom, boom. And after one time's done, the next one gets up, and they're all on the same wavelength. It's not stream of conscious. This is written out. This is, and they know that we're going to show up and read this every daggone time. I know, Denise. You need to own the meeting. You got me? You need to own the meeting. They need to know. Oh, and listen, I want to tell you this. The agenda item, well, if they put it on the agenda about Dan Schebler and not filing for the SCOP funds. I want to talk about the SCOP funds. This is about him lying. So this goes in public forum. This has nothing to do with the SCOP funds. Yeah, that's the lie. But we're talking about him lying. And that's why this is going in the public forum. And we've got 40 people lined up to hammer the crap out of this idiot. And we won't stop until it's done. All right. We will work on the video situation. I don't know what that is, but we'll try that out. And God bless y'all. Have a great Monday. And we hope to see you tomorrow on a Tuesday on Sunrise Santa Rosa. Thank you so much for joining us today.